Hiya! Chicken Chow Mein. Guys, you are going to absolutely love this meal and your family will too. Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Tabby. Let's get cooking. All right, guys, let's get this chicken chow mein put together. Now, I want to show you very quickly before we get started. I had a company reach out to me. It's the first time that's ever happened. And they asked if they could send me some of their product to try. And if I liked it, then I could share it with my followers. So they did. And I thought, well, let's give it a shot. And it's called Out of Air vacuum bags. And you guys, I love them. So like if you're like me and you like to buy big quantities of chicken or popcorn or rice, things like that, because it's cheaper to buy it in the bigger quantities. But you can't always eat all of it at one time. And so like a rice box, for example, when you open it, there's no really way to seal it and it kind of gets stale after a while. Or with the chicken, you don't want to eat all of that chicken. You put it in a Ziploc bag, you put it in the freezer, and then it gets freezer burn or it starts to get that little bit of a frost on it or something. So I thought, you know what, let's give it a try. So I just want to show you, I vacuum packed these thighs. And look at how beautiful they are. I've let them thaw, so they're thawed out in here. And I labeled it down here at the bottom, so you've got the date and what's in it. And you guys, it did such a great job. And there's no freezer burn, no frost, nothing on there. They look just like they were fresh right out of the package. So I just wanted to show that to you. I'll put a link to their Facebook page. I'm not going to get any commission if you place an order. Nothing like that. They just sent me the product to try, but I will put a link to their Facebook page and to their website in the post above so you guys can check it out for yourself. Now, the Food Saver little vacuum pack machine, you can get that on Amazon or at Walmart. So I'll put that on my Amazon storefront so you can see that. Now, if you do purchase from there, I will get a little commission, but there's no extra cost to you. So check it out if you want. And I think you will really like these bags. If you're already a vacuum sealer and you already do that kind of thing, you really want to check out the Out of Air because they really are very, very good. So, all right, let's get started on this chow mein, chicken chow mein. So I've got my chicken thighs here. They're boneless and skinless. And I am just going to trim some of the fat off. And then we're just going to cut them up into small bite-sized pieces. All right, so when I have this all chopped up and ready to go, I'll come back and we'll take it to the next step. Hang tight. All right, I've got my chicken all diced up and I trimmed most of the fat off of it. I left just a little bit because you want a little bit of that flavor in the sauce and in the meat in the pan, right? So I didn't trim every single bit of fat, but I got most of it off. So what I'm gonna do now is just season it with some salt and pepper. Nothing fancy, just a little salt and pepper. We're going to make a sauce to go over it, so we don't need to go crazy on the seasonings. But I do want to give it just a nice dose of some salt and pepper. Now I'm going to take some of my wild olive, the blood orange infused extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that in the pan. I think that little bit of an orange flavor is going to be really good with this Asian inspired dish. Oh, it smells so good. You can smell that blood orange in there. So I'm gonna let that get good and warm, and then I'm going to throw this chicken in there and we're gonna get it all cooked up. I'll be right back. All right, my pan is warm. I'm gonna back you up just a little bit. There we go, so you can see what's going on. And I'm going to throw my chicken in here. All right, so I'm going to cook this chicken up until it's no longer pink. You want it completely cooked and nice and brown. And when we get to that point, then I'll come back and we will take it to the next step. While my chicken is cooking, I'm going to chop up my veggies. I'll be right back. All right, the chicken is done, so we're going to go ahead and get it out and put it in my little bowl here. Free up this pan. This is one of the things I love about this dish is you're pretty much just doing it all in one pan. We do have a small pan of water going to boil our noodles in. But other than that, you've got a one-pan meal here. All right, guys, so I've got all of the chicken out and I'm letting my pan warm back up before I put these veggies in. So while that's warming, I'm going to go ahead and mix up our sauce. So I have in here some miso and some water and some chicken broth. So that's all I have in here right now. It's my homemade chicken broth, but I did let it cool because we're going to put some cornstarch in here, and you know you want cornstarch. If you're going to mix it up, you want it to be in a cold liquid, not hot. So this is cold. So what I'm going to add to this is some sugar, and we're going to add some sesame oil. And we're going to add some low sodium soy sauce. So we're just going to give that a good stir. And I have my water heating on the stove, so I'm going to cook my Chicken Chow Mein noodles. This is a 5-ounce container, and it says it's 5 servings, so that should be plenty to mix with all of these veggies. We're only going to cook those for about 4 minutes because you want them on the firm side, so kind of a firm al dente. But we're going to get this mixed up here. And then I'm going to add to it my cornstarch. You can see this is already thickening up really nice. What I might do is when I pour this into the pan, I might pour it through a strainer and just make sure that none of those cornstarch lumps are stuck in there. Looks like I'm getting most of them out. I don't know what it is about cornstarch. It does not like to be mixed up in hot water or hot liquid of any kind. You really want to make sure your liquid is at least room temperature, if not cold. Gosh, that smells really good. I think it's going to taste really good. All right, I think my oil is ready, so I'm going to go ahead and put my veggies in. I have some green cabbage. If you remember the other day when I made the apple slaw, I had that purple cabbage left and some of the green cabbage left, and I've added some onion. So we're going to put all of that in our pan here. It looks like a lot, but it's going to cook down, so it's not going to take up as much room as it looks like right off the bat. All right, so we're going to let this cabbage cook down. My water for the noodles is just starting to boil. You don't want your cabbage mushy. We're not looking for sauerkraut, so you want to make sure you don't cook it down so that it's completely mushy. It should have a little crunch to it when you eat it. All right, going to drizzle just a little bit more olive oil on the top. And that is the blood orange. I'm using the same olive oil. All right, my water is boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and throw my noodles in. And I am not salting that water because these noodles are already kind of salty. Okay, I'm going to set my timer for 4 minutes. You do want to kind of stir this around a little bit, kind of mix it up as it's cooking. You could also add bell pepper to this, red, yellow, green bell pepper. You could julienne some carrots and add it to it as well. I didn't have any of that, otherwise I would have probably thrown both of those things in here, but I'm just using what I already had here in the kitchen. All right, now we're going to add some minced garlic. That's kind of to taste, but I would say at least 2 cloves or about 1.5 tablespoons of the minced garlic. We're going to cook that garlic in there a little bit. So I drained my noodles, so I'm going to go ahead and dump those in. And we're going to put our chicken back in. You want to make sure you're using a skillet that's pretty big, because this is going to be a lot in here. This is not your regular 10-inch skillet. This has got to be over 12 inches. So this is a big skillet. Ooh, that smells good. All right, now we're going to pour our mixture on top. Let me give this a little stir again. Looks like all of that cornstarch dissolved just fine in there, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour it on. All right. right, now we're just going to let this simmer for just a couple minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, and then we should be about ready. All right, I'm going to let this simmer a little bit, and when it's ready to test, I'll come back and we'll do it together. Hang tight. All right, we're ready to give it a try. Let's do it. I'm just going to get a little bit here to test it. It smells amazing. All right, now I have chopped up some peanuts just to garnish on top. That's optional. Don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of peanuts on top. There it is. It's very pretty. All right, let's give it a taste. Thank you, Lord, for this food. Amen. Oh my goodness, that's good. The cabbage still has that little bit of a bite to it. The chicken is cooked perfectly. It's juicy and tender. Those peanuts really add a good flavor. I really encourage you, if you like peanuts and you can eat peanuts, I would encourage you to put those on the side. That's really good. Really tasty. I think the only thing I would do different next time, I might add just a little bit more of the soy sauce or maybe a little bit more of the miso. I think it could just be a little bit stronger, but other than that, it's really, really good. Of course, that soy sauce was low sodium too. If you were using regular soy sauce, 1/4 cup would probably work fine. But I think it just needs a little more of a kick of that soy sauce flavor in there. I think you're really going to like it. And like I said, a one-pot meal, pretty quick to throw together, pretty easy, just a few ingredients. And I think you'll have dinner made pretty quickly, and I think everybody's going to love it. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, would you do me a favor? Would you share it around? That blesses me so much when you do that. Also, make sure that you like and comment. That's really important too. That lets Facebook know that you like the videos that I'm making, and they will share them with you and other people also. Let's just inspire everybody to get in the kitchen and make something fun. All right, remember, you can pre-order my new cookbook, Pure and Sweet Recipes in the Kitchen with Tabbi. Available in November, but I'm taking pre-orders now, and I'm really excited for you to get it. I think it's going to be your go-to cookbook for holiday baking, cooking, and candy making. Remember also that Christ is the unseen guest at every dinner table, the silent listener at every conversation, and He loves you so much, and so do I. This recipe and all my other recipes will be on my website, inthekitchenwithtabbi.com. You'll also find a link to the recipe on Instagram and Facebook. It will be in the comments right underneath the post, and on YouTube, you know where it is. It's in the description. So just click on that more right underneath the video. It will open up the full description and you'll see a link to the recipe there. All right, guys, I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope it gets better and better every minute that goes by. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.